Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video in the real world. Today we are going to be talking about a touchy topic, hormones. Don't worry, this isn't the talk. I'm just going to touch on some things that are happening today that you may or may not know about. So let's get started. So far, we have talked about transgenderism, and yes, that is a term, and gone into how the left is affecting our children and even adults with their agenda. Today, I'm going to do a little bit more in depth into how one becomes transgender, how one transitions, not the mental side of it that I have covered previously, but the physical changes that one undergoes. The first subtopic I like to talk about is the drugs they give children. Here is a drug called Lupron, which is given to little kids to stop puberty. These are also known as puberty blockers. Now, puberty blockers, a temporary reversible drug with zero side effects, has a horrible reality that even I did not know about until a few months ago. When I really got into the drug Lupron, I assumed it was just some experimental drug used to stop puberty on children so they can decide which gender they are. Boy, was I misinformed. Upon further research on the drug Lupron, it is used to chemically castrate pedophiles. Castration is irreversible. If Lupron is used to chemically castrate pedophiles, how can they claim that it is reversible on children? It does not follow. As if that's not bad enough, when a child does decide to go through a transition, their genitals are surgically removed and replaced with the gender they choose. I'm going to have a little squirrel moment here. Why is it that when someone is transgender, they can only physically change their bodies one of two ways? If there are hundreds of identities out there, then why is it that we can't change our genitals hundreds of different ways? The same people who are claiming that there are hundreds of genders are the same people who can only transition one way. It's funny how much the left contradicts themselves. Back on topic, this surgery has a 66% complication rate, which means that there is a 66% chance that something medically will go wrong. That means if a child is physically transitioned, then they don't even have a 50-50 chance. They have a 33% chance that they will survive it and live a normal life. Now, I'm sure you're screaming at me, what complications? And I will list them here. Number 1, 6 inches of ingrown hair on your urethra. Number 2, multiple infections. 3, multiple sicknesses from antibiotics. 4, cancer tied to hormone use. 5, type 2 diabetes. And a million more. But you don't hear about this. No one wants to talk about how it might go wrong. Isn't that what gender affirming is? Saying all of it is okay and normal and that whatever you want to do is fine, even if it is harmful. All the propaganda that you see out there, or don't notice anymore because we have become so insensitive to it that it's a way of life now, gets these children to think that transitioning is normal. It got people at 35 years old, your kids don't stand a chance. If all of this gender-affirming stuff is about making people feel normal and like they belong, why are they encouraging them to change? If it is about making people feel good and confident about themselves, aren't they doing the opposite by telling them they need to change their identity to fit in? Again, it is amazing how the left contradicts itself. There's this talk about suicidal people transitioning, and now they aren't suicidal anymore because changing genders just completely made them okay. It's the cure for suicide. Well, let me tell you, the highest point of suicide comes at 7 to 10 years after transitioning. With the rate of teen suicide being what it is to people who don't transition, how much worse can it be when you mix already suicidal teens in with being suicidal because they transitioned? 8 to 10-year-olds in 7 years will be teenagers, already suicidal teenagers, and the left has amplified those suicidal thoughts by 100. Why do you think the left targets our children, though? I'll tell you, it's because they are the easy targets. Impressionable young kids who are made to think that they are not good enough in their body, so they have to change. They let children make the decision. Yet somehow, people under 21 can't decide if they want to consume alcohol. I can't drink, but at 8 years old, I can decide on having life-changing, possibly fatal surgeries. My final question is, if it's legal and we're willing to use chemical castration to pause puberty because of a child's feelings, where does it end? Where do we draw the line? What boundary is there that we say, wait a sec, that's too far? And I guess the real question is, are there any boundaries left to cross? How much further can you go? This is mutilation. It's disgusting, and people promoting these things should be on the sex offender registry. That's what it is. It's pretty much all I have to say on the subject. Like and comment. You know what to do. As always, stay safe and keep our children safe.